Assalamu alaikum students. The last lecture was about predicates and we discussed how to form predicates and how to decide the truth value about the predicates. Now we have arrived at a point where we are ready to declare types in formal specification, which are known abstract data type, and we are ready to declare variables for the formal specification of softwares. In this lecture, our focus will be on sets as data types, and we will discuss about declaring variables, and we will learn how to declare set variables, a special kind of variables which can store set as value. Then we will discuss about set operations, which are known as set operators. A set is an unordered, well-defined collection of objects in which repetition of objects is not significant. It means sets cannot handle repetition of objects, and also sets cannot handle the order of the objects. Well-defined means that given a value, it is possible to decide whether it is a member of a set or not. The members of a set are distinct values, that is to say, there is no notion of how many times a value occurs in a set. Either it is there or it is not. So as mentioned earlier, that sets are not suitable for handling the multiplicity of objects or the repetition of objects. The members of a set are not considered to be in any particular order. Again, we have discussed that sets cannot handle the order of objects. Therefore, we can use sets as an unordered collection of objects. To formalize the notion of the objects of the same kind or unique objects, we use sets as types in Z specification. So if we are modeling a collection of objects that are considered unique and the objects are of the same kind and where ordering is not important, then the set type is a good candidate. For example, consider a collection of patients registered on the book of a doctor's surgery. A set might be used to model this collection, as patients are considered unique in the register and the ordering of patient is not important, and the ordering of patient is not relevant for the formal specification. Students, we have discussed earlier that sets cannot handle ordering of the objects and the repetition of the objects. Therefore, if repetition and ordering are relevant for formal software specification, a set may not be an appropriate type to use. For example, a set would not be appropriate way to model the queue of patients waiting for a doctor, as ordering is important here. Further, a set may not be an appropriate way to model the patient seen by a doctor over a given period, as a patient may have seen a doctor more than once, and we need to use the multiplicity of objects here. Therefore, we cannot use sets in this scenario. Sets can be defined using comprehensive specification in Z. Suppose we have a comprehensive specification given here where D denotes some declaration and P represents a predicate which is actually a constraint on the domain set, and E is an expression denoting a term, and we can define the comprehensive specification using these tags, that the first part is a signature part where we declare variable and domain, and then we uh, define predicate, which is actually a constraint on the domain, and then we define term, which comes here. For example, we have a comprehensive specification on a set of natural numbers where we declare variable n on the set of natural numbers, and this predicate represent the constraint on the domain, which actually tells us that uh, we actually consider the natural numbers lie between 10 to 20, and n is a term. It means this set would contain uh, set of natural numbers from 10 to 20. We have discussed earlier that the predicate part of the comprehensive set specification defines the property which acts as a constraint on the set of domain, and this property basically represents the members of the set which is specified. For example, we have a comprehensive set specification with the predicate n cube is greater than 10, and this predicate specifies the set of natural numbers which have the property that their cubes are greater than 10. Therefore, we can consider the integer 3 because the cube of 3 is greater than 10. 4, the cube of 4 is also greater than 10, and so on. So all the natural numbers or positive integers which are greater than 2 and whose cube is greater than 10 would be the part of the set. The term part of the comprehensive set specification defines the form of the members of the set. A term consists of an expression which, when evaluated, will give us the same type of the set. For example, we have an example of comprehensive set specification where term part is an expression containing n, and the predicate part represents that we will consider natural numbers which are greater than 20 and less than 100. Therefore, this set would contain natural numbers from 21 to 99. Similarly, the term part of this set represents that the terms of this set would be order pairs, and those the sum of the elements of order pairs would be 100 as specified by the predicate part. Therefore, this set would contain order pairs 0, 100, 199, 298, and so on up to 100 and 0. And you can observe that sum of the elements of each order pair is equal to 100. Now we consider another example where the term part expression is x square plus y square, and the predicate part shows that we will pick uh, two natural numbers whose sum is 5. For example, we pick x equal to 2 and y is equal to 3, and we will take the square of 2, 4, plus square of 3, 9. 4 plus 9 is 13, and then we can pick x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 4, and 1 square plus 4 square is equal to 17. Similarly, we can pick x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 5, and 0 square plus 5 square is equal to 25. So the set contain only three elements, 13, 17 and 25. Students, the time has arrived to declare the data type in a formal Z specification, and we have discussed that the collection of the same kind of objects which are known sets are called types in Z specification, and to define different type we consider an example of library management system. The decision about which set are to be types is a part of the specification process, and as far as library management system is concerned, set of books can be considered as a type from which the books in the library are drawn, and set of persons are also considered as type which actually represent the borrowers, and it will be the type of the specification. In the library management system, the type book and type person should be introduced, and for the Z specification we will use square brackets around the uh, set book, and in this way we have declared book as a type. Similarly, by introducing square bracket around the set person, this set also has been declared as a data type, and we can use same square bracket uh, with the two sets. This is an alternative way to declare sets as type, and now we can declare variables on these types. Whenever we want to declare a set as a type in Z formal language, we use square brackets around the name of a set. In this way, we can declare any set as a data type. For example, if student is a type declared in Z formal language, then we can declare a variable for a single student with the name one student in the following way: one student colon student, and student has been declared as a type, therefore one student has been declared as a variable on this type. Note that the variable name being declared is followed by a colon and then by the name of the set from which it takes its values. Therefore, one student variable would take the value from the set student as a type, and one possible value of the declared variable is Ali, as Ali belong to set student. Students, we have declared a variable on a set from which it takes its values, and we can assign a single value from this set to that variable. And in order to assign a set of values to declared variable, we need to extend the basic type with the notion of power set. The power set of a set A is the set of all its subsets. We shall use the notation power set of A to denote the power set of a set A. Suppose that set A has two members x and y, then we can enumerate its power set in this form: that power set of A would contain four subsets of set A, which include phi, x, y, and set xy. The two predicates following have the same meaning. A is subset of B or A belongs to power set of B, because uh, if A is subset of B, then A must be member of the power set of B, because power set contain all possible power set subsets. The following predicate about the power set are true. A belongs to power set of A. Each set must be the member of its power set, and phi or empty set is a member of power set of A. Uh, Empty set or phi is member of every power set. To understand the difference of the variables to which we assign a single value and a variable to which we assign a set of values, let us consider an example. We have declared a variable a number on a set of few positive integers, and we can say that we can assign a value 1 to variable a number, or we can assign a value 2 or 3 to declared variable a number. In short, we can say that a number is a single valued variable and its value are taken from the set to which we have declared this variable. Now consider another variable, some number, which is declared on a power set of the same set 1 2 3, and the difference in the two declaration is the presence or absence of fat p. As you can see that we declared a variable a number which is declared on a set without fat p, and we declared another variable which is declared on a set with uh, fat p, which actually represent the power set of that set. Students would declare a variable on a set from which it take its values. Therefore, we declared a variable some number on the power set of set 1 2 3. Therefore, the values of the variable some number would come from the power set of set 1 2 3. Therefore, the variable some number uh, may be a set containing a member 1, or a set containing a member 1 2 3, 1 2, or 1, or a set containing members 1 2 3. The values of the variable some number could be any subset appearing in the power set. Therefore, we can say that the variable some number is a finite set of elements drawn from the set 1 2 3, and in short, we can say that the variable some number is a set. And there is an exercise for you. You need to list all possible values of the variable b, which is declared on the power set of set 0 1 3 5 and 7, and you need to declare the values of the variable x, which is declared on the set 0 1 2 3 and 4. Now we consider again the example where we declared a variable one student on the type student, and the type student is a set of all students, and the variable one student is declared on a set student from which it takes its values. Therefore, one student is a single valued variable, and one possible value of the variable one student is Ali. Now consider another variable some student, whose type is power set of student, and we have extended the basic type student with the power set. Now by declaring a variable some student on a power set of student, the variable some student would become a set. Therefore, we can assign uh, uh, a set of students to that variable, and one possible value For the declared variable, some student may be a set containing student Ali, Saad, and Fahad. We consider again the example of library management system, and we uh, discuss few more sets. We discuss a set of books owned by the library. All the members of books are the same type being drawn from the set book, and we have a, a set of books on loan, which is a set of books that have been borrowed. All the members of set on loan are drawn from the set book. Similarly, we have another set of books on shelf that have not been borrowed and are still believed to be on library shelves. All the members of set on shelves are drawn from the set book. Reference is a set of books that may never be borrowed but are to be used only on the library premises. All the members of the reference are drawn from the set book. Borrowers is a set of people who are entitled to borrow books from the library. All the members of borrowers are drawn from the set person. And we have declared uh, two sets, book and person, as a type by applying the square brackets on the name of these sets. Students, all the sets discussed in the previous slides can be declared as the set of books can be declared as variable name books on a power set of book, because book has also been declared as a type by applying the square brackets on the name of set book. Similarly, the set on shelves of the book can be declared as a variable name on shelves on a power set of book, and a set of reference books is declared with the variable name reference on a power set of book. Similarly, a set of books which are on loan is declared with the variable name on loan on a power set of book, and uh, these variables are declared independently in different lines, and all these variables have same type, therefore we can declare in a single line by applying the commas between the variable names, and the set of persons which are borrowers can be declared on a power set of person. And there is an exercise for you. We have a type person which represents set of all people. Now you need to explain the difference between variable p, which is declared on person, and a variable q, which is declared on power set of person. Students, there is another exercise for you in which you will declare different kind of variables. A hotel system reserve rooms for guests from an arrival date to a departure date. Types here could include hotel, the set of all hotels; reservation, the set of all reservations; room, the set of all rooms; guest, the set of all guests; date, the set of all dates. So there are five basic types which are declared for the hotel reservation system, and you need to declare different variables representing a single hotel, a finite set of rooms, a single reservation, a finite set of guests, and a single date. There is a hint for you to declare a variable representing a single hotel. You can declare uh, a variable ht on a type hotel, and because ht variable is declared on a type hotel, and the value of the variable ht would come from the set hotel, and it would be a single value of the hotel. Up till now we have used sets as a type where the detail of their members is not given. For example, we declared set of books as a type, and set of books as a type represent all books without any detail of their members. Sometimes we wish to introduce a type with a small number of members and give names to the members of that type. For example, we have a type yes no with the two members yes and no, and this symbol or sign two colon with equal is a data type definition symbol, and a pipe sign is a branch separator. For example, we have another type day containing seven different values with the name of days of the week, and we can declare a variable a day on the enumerated type day, and we can assign any value given to that variable a day. In Z formal language, we also have the sets of numbers known as set of integers and set of natural numbers, and uh, we do not need to declare these sets as a type separately. Integers denoted in formal text by fat z, which is actually the set of positive or negative whole numbers including 0, and I discussed earlier that it doesn't have to be introduced formally. Since z is a set of integers, its type is power set of z. Similarly, natural numbers denoted in formal text by fat n, which is actually the set of whole numbers from 0 upwards. The natural numbers are a subset of the integers, so the type of n is power set of z. Since n is a subset of z, it is not itself a type. Therefore, by declaring a variable size of type n, there is no need to mention a predicate that size is greater than or equal to 0. If we declare a variable size of type z, then we need to mention the predicate size is greater than or equal to 0. Sometimes we need to specify a range of integers, and such a range of values is a set known as a subrange, and here are some examples showing the formal notation used to denote such kind of subranges. For example, we have a subrange 1 to 4, which actually denotes a set containing positive integers from 1 to 4. Then we have a subrange 2 to 6, representing a set of positive integer from 2 to 6. If we have a subrange where a larger integer comes first and then we have a smaller integer, then uh, it denotes an empty set, and all the subranges mentioned in the slides are of type power set of Z. In Z formal specification, sometimes we need to present the number of elements in a set, which is known as the cardinality of a set. If X denotes some finite set, then the number of elements in the set is called its cardinality or the size, and it is denoted by the hashtag sign or number sign. For example, if we want to know the cardinality of a set given here, and this set contains three elements, therefore the cardinality of this set would be 3, and the cardinality of set is 7, and the cardinality of empty set is 0, and we have declared a variable on loan, which is a set of books which are on loan. Then the cardinality of the set on loan would be the number of books which are on loan. And if we declared a variable enrolled on the type power set of student, then the variable enrolled will be a set. Therefore, the cardinality of variable enrolled would be the number of enrolled students. Students, now we discuss about the set operations, which are known as set operators. The first kind of set operator is known as union. The union of two sets J and K returns a set that contains all the elements of the set J and all the elements of set K, and it is represented by J union K. For example, if J is a set representing four members of days and we have set K with three members, then J union K would be the members of the J and all the members of K. And we have declared a set variable on shelf and another set variable on loan, and both the variables are set of books, and by applying the union operator on shelf union on loan, that would be all the books in the library. We have another set operator which is known as intersection. The intersection of two sets J and K returns a set that contains all the elements that are common to both J and K, and it is denoted by J intersection K if set J contain four members, and similarly we have a set K containing three members, then J intersection K is a set having the common members of both the sets J and K. And we have declared uh, set variables on shelves and on loan, and the type of both the sets or set variables is same. Therefore, we can apply the intersection operator on both the variables because both the variables are sets, and on shelf intersection on loan would be empty set because the books which are on shelf and the books are which have been borrowed or on loan uh, don't have any common book. Therefore, it's would be the intersection of both the sets would be empty set. Now we have a set difference operator. The difference of set J and set K is the set that contains all the elements that belong to J but do not belong to K. It is denoted by J backslash K, which is given here. If set J has four elements and set K has three elements, and by subtracting set K from set J, then we will eliminate the common element of set K into the set J. Then therefore Monday and Tuesday would be eliminated, and we will get Wednesday and Sunday in the set representing J difference K. For example, we have sets on shelves, which is a set of books, and we have a set of books with the name reference, and we have a set of books for borrow, which and all three set variables have same type, which is power set of book. Therefore, if we subtract reference books from the books which are on shelf, and we will get the answer, the books which are available for borrow. Students, we already learned declaring types in Z formal language, and we also learned declaring sets on declare types, and we discussed the set operators. Now we can uh, make predicates using set variables and operators about the properties of the software to be specified using Z formal language. For example, we have sets declared on uh, a type power set of book. Therefore, all the variables shown here are sets of books, and we can uh, formally specify the property about the software library management system, and this property uh, tells us no book can be on loan and return book, and this property can be represented by the predicate given here, on loan intersection return book is equal to 5, because uh, these two variables are sets of the same type, and we can apply the intersection operator to get the semantics of the property. Another property, only science book can be on loan, can be represented by the predicate on loan subset of science book. We have another property, reference books are those which are on shelves, and science books, which is represented by the predicate on shelf intersection science book is equal to reference book. Students, in this way we actually construct predicates about the properties of software to formally specify the software. Students, in this lecture we discussed about the sets, and we used sets as a data type, and then we discussed declaring set variables, and then we discussed about the operators for the sets, and at the end of this lecture we discussed uh, about constructing predicates using set variables and operators. Students, the contents of this lecture are taken from section number 3.1 of chapter number 3 of the book Software Development with Z. Students, you must read section number 3.1 of chapter number 3, and that's all for today's lecture. Allah Hafiz.